Welcome back, Camly. We're here with Kelly, Clifford, Landon's mom, Colette's grandma, and my future mother-in-law.
And I go by Kiki for Colette.
Yeah, Grandma Kiki. And I thought we would let you guys get to know her. She hasn't been in the videos a whole lot, so we're going to do a little Q&A today. I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask some questions for her, and that's what I'm reading off of right now.
I have to sneeze.
Then do it.
You have to crop all that out?
Yeah. The first question was, what was her reaction to my pregnancy?
So my reaction to the pregnancy obviously was shock. 16.
Yeah.
It's obviously not the age you want your child to have a child, but I respected the fact, obviously, that they wanted to keep it, and I respect that. Obviously, I think that's the best thing to do, is to keep your child. I totally respect Cameron in taking on the responsibility to take prenatal vitamins and to do everything she could to make sure her baby was healthy. Obviously was scared and worried. Your first thing is, how are they going to raise this baby? What's going to happen? Are they going to finish high school? What are their friends going to think? What are family members going to think? It's not the path you initially want your child to go through, is to have a child when they're still children themselves. But I'm very proud of them. They have taken on every responsibility that is expected of a parent and have done a fabulous job. It warms my heart to see that they're doing it together, and they both are committed to Colette and raising her together as a family.
What was your first impression when Landon started dating Cameron?
I can kind of remember when he first started dating her. I remember him telling me he met a girl and he showed me a picture of her, and I said she's very beautiful. And I remember Landon telling me that she said, your mom looks very fashionable. And I totally remember that to this day, that he said that. It was expected. Obviously, every child going through school meets a girlfriend and connects with them, but not every son or daughter stays with the same person. Usually you just kind of date, meet, and date, meet, and continue high school and focusing on your grades in school. I do think they connected very early, but I understand that because I did the same thing when I was 15. I think that they really do feel a lot for each other, and they've been through a lot together. I do like Cameron. I think she's a great person, and I think they're good for each other.
I should blow it in. I feel like I have to sneeze, but
Cameron's going to be like, oh my God, how am I going to shorten this? Kelly talks too much.
Are you excited about Cameron and Landon moving to Texas?
Oh my gosh, yes. I wish they would move to Dallas. The moving closer is good. I'd be able to see them more often. They'll be able to come down for the holidays more often. I totally want to be in Colette's life. She warms my heart. She makes me smile. My husband tells me when she's here with us in the house that he doesn't exist, which is kind of true because she's number one. And there's nothing like a grandchild. She almost feels like your own. You like connect because it's part of you, because it came from your own child. So I love her to death, and I'm very excited.
This one got asked a lot. It's, how would you feel if me and Landon had a second child soon?
Soon? No. I don't think they should do that. I think that there would be nothing wrong if they waited 5 or even 4 years before they had another child. My children were 3.5 years apart, and it was perfect. Focus on Colette. Colette's wonderful. She's beautiful. I think that there's time for that, and they're super young. It's difficult, and I want them to have a life for themselves as well. Even if they had a child 4 years from now, they're still going to be extremely young.
Yeah.
And they need to focus on themselves and Colette right now.
So initially, when we first told you that I was pregnant, we also asked if Landon could move to Florida with us, and why did you initially decide not to and then change your mind 9 months later?
I'd never forget, after she was born, that Landon had called me. He went down there for the summer of June, and I told him he needed to come back and finish high school, and she would still be there when you finished high school. When you're young as a little infant, I don't think that she'll remember all the aspects of if her dad was there initially or not. But what touched my heart was when he said, I can't leave her, that I love her and I want to see her first walk, her first crawl, her first words. How do you take that away from someone? Like if somebody had taken that away from me, I'd probably be frustrated. How do you say no to that? Like, who wants to miss those things in life? Like, I wouldn't want to.
Do you watch Cam&Fam?
I do, because it keeps me connected with what's going on. So it's actually very amazing. It's documentaries of things I can't see. I feel like I'm not missing out. It means a lot to be able to see Colette smile and see her on film and to know what's going on in their lives.
What's Landon's most embarrassing childhood memory?
We went to church and he said his stomach hurt. And we're like, you'll be fine. It's okay. Was not okay. He stood up and I kid you not, threw up 3 times all over the place in church. All the way down the steps, all the way out of the church. Poor thing. I felt so bad for him. And everybody's like, it's okay, it's okay. But that was crazy.
Is there anything you regret as far as the process of kind of finding out that Landon was going to be dad, or like not warning him about having protected sex when he was younger, or not being supported enough? Like, what are your regrets as far as this whole journey?
So I can't say I had any regrets because I did warn him. I've talked to him. His dad talked to him. I've talked to him. I've told him a million times. I'm like, I do not want to be a grandmother right now. Please use protection. Come to us. Let us know. Use protection. There are no regrets in life. You just live life and you take each step, each challenge as you go. I never look back and regret anything in life at all. I'm happy with every path that's been put in front of me.
Yeah, I feel like everything that's kind of happened over the last 2 years, it needed to happen exactly how it happened for us to be where we are today.
How do you feel about your son living on his own at a young age?
At first it was scary because you want to make sure that they know everything about life. Because it's hard, it's difficult. Life is challenging, you know. Do they know to pay their bills on time? Do they know not to spend all their money in one place? Do they know to make sure they save money? They know they have taxes. I mean, these things you don't necessarily do when you're 17. And I've told them many times, make sure you're saving your money. Make sure you're saving your money. You don't necessarily teach your child at the age of 17 that, you know, your rent's due on the 1st, and save for gas money and make sure you have food in the refrigerator. They've kind of known what to do and they have each other to figure it out. And if they don't know, they can call us. They can call any one of their parents and ask. And they don't, so I guess they have it. They're alive. They're all healthy, so I'm proud of them.
Do you think Colette looks more like me or Landon?
You know, it's funny because I see both of them in them. I see a lot of Cameron. Cameron's beautiful eyes. But I also see Landon too sometimes, so it's weird. But I feel like she resembles a lot more of Cameron.
She has my dimples.
She does. She has a little one on her cheek.
What's your opinion on Cameron's YouTube career and Landon being a stay-at-home dad?
What they're doing to raise her at home and to be there is amazing. Who wouldn't want to be home with their child? I couldn't be. I had to work. And so even at the age of 17, how do you do that, right? They figured it out. Cameron looked at how is she going to raise this child and came up with a self-employment way to do it and can still be home with her and take care of her every day. Not a lot of women that are my age or 20s and 30s can do that. They have to work and put their child in daycare at 6 weeks old and go to work 9-10 hours a day. They're 17 and making money and being able to take care of their child at home. So that says a lot, and I'm very proud of them.
If you could choose their next baby's name, what would it be, boy or girl?
So boy name, I always loved the name Cash. I think it's cool, neat, and spunky. I think family names are nice to name your children as well.
We were thinking of actually Oliver Charles for a boy.
Cameron wants to do the generation name, and I don't want to. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to name my son the same name as my father.
I didn't. That's why you aren't any Olivers. I broke it. I broke the whole path. I was the bad one. Girl name, I never thought of. I've had 2 boys and never even had to think of girl names. There's so many girl names out there, but you know what? I don't know a girl's name. I've never had a girl and never had to think about it. But, so, I don't know.
Tell us about the first time that you met Colette.
She came a lot earlier than we thought. I'll never forget the phone call. Cameron's mom called me to tell me that she's about to have the baby. And I'm like, what? You know it's happening, but when you're all of a sudden told that she's arriving, you just are like, oh no, this is real now. Like, this is happening. I wanted to be there. Landon wanted to be there, but Landon was there the very next day, if not the day after. I remember seeing her. She was so little. Like, I think her leg was the size of my finger. Like, she was so tiny. And I was shocked how little she was. Like, you see pictures of little infants when they're preemies, but they look bigger in the pictures than in real life. And I was kind of blown back by how tiny she was. But I held her, and I just didn't want to let go, and I hated leaving her. But I'm fortunate that they've been able to drive up, and we've seen her a lot. So I feel like a big part of her life, and they're moving closer, so yeah, see her more.
What would your advice be to other moms whose teens have a child?
It's hard necessarily to give advice about that. I think any decision that a parent makes comes with love. I was told by a good friend that whatever decision I made, whether I made him stay home to finish high school or let him go, that either decision was made with love. And I think that's just it.
Did you suspect the pregnancy before they told you?
No. No. I had no idea. I think we were the last to know. It was scary. It was shocking. It was like, wow. Obviously, Landon was shocked too. Yeah, it was scary. A lot of things went through my mind.
So how long did it take you to forgive Cameron for trashing the house?
That was hard. It really broke my heart. We brought Cameron in our life. We took her out. We hung out with her. It's still hard, I forgive, but I haven't forgotten. It was very disappointing. I didn't know how somebody could do that. Even if my child did that, it'd be disappointing, and I would never forget. It doesn't matter who it is. There's nothing like having something you worked so hard for and taken care of, and it just be totally disrespected. So that was hard. That was very hard. I will forgive. I just haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
You don't forget that. That's horrible. I mean, one day you might live it too. So
Yeah.
I'll ask you that question one day.
I mean, Karma's probably going to bite us in the butt. Alright, well that pretty much wraps up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, Camille.
Are you listening to me?